Oh man. UCLA football is 1-5. And the one game they did win was kind of a miracle. They won 63-67 against Washington State. It was a 32-point come from behind lead. I don't know if I got the final total right, but I do know it was a 30-point victory, 32-point comeback to win the game in Pullman against Washington State. I watched it. It was incredible. And I said after that game that UCLA finally had some hope. They finally had hope because their quarterback, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, looked like he was making some progress. Like things had finally clicked. He was settling in. He looked really good. And man, the following week against Arizona, DTR got hurt. He's been out for the last 2 games. He got hurt out of the rest of the Arizona game. He didn't play last week against Oregon State. And this past week, UCLA lost by 17 points to Oregon State. And by the way, Oregon State is a horrible, horrible program. I feel bad. I have friends who are Oregon State fans. I live in the Portland metro area. Man, Oregon State is a terrible program. I feel bad for them. Here is UCLA's remaining schedule. They play at Stanford. Then they play Arizona State, a good football program. They play against Colorado. And then the final 3 games are really, really tough for UCLA. They play at Utah, at USC, and they play Cal at home. I think, man, UCLA is going to be lucky to win 3 games this year. I think they might not even win 2. They're more likely to win 2 games this entire year. If that. Honestly, if they get rid of Chip Kelly, I have no idea who UCLA will hire. But, man, I am really skeptical that their head coach, Chip Kelly, can make it happen. And whether I don't have any bearing on this decision, my opinion doesn't matter for UCLA football. But I think UCLA football's head coach, Chip Kelly, is on the chopping block. And they might fire him very, very soon. It's ugly. Chip won at Oregon. He inherited a good program at University of Oregon in Eugene, and then he made them better. He took a good program, made it. Let's be honest. Oregon was an elite program with Chip Kelly. I can be honest. An elite program is what Chip Kelly made Oregon into. But the situation he inherited at Oregon is a very different situation than he inherited at UCLA. UCLA is a mess. Awful program. And it's hard enough to turn around a good program that needs to get a little better. It's almost impossible to turn around a mess of a program. Just a horrible, crappy situation. And I don't know that Chip Kelly has the tools he needs to make it happen. I don't know. It takes a really galvanizing person who cares about people and who, where enthusiasm leaks out of them. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of heart. And when I look at Chip Kelly, are you inspired? I never listened to Chip Kelly talk and went, that's a guy I jumped through a brick wall for. Because he's not that kind of guy. He's not the kind of guy that inspires a lot of hope. I don't know how much he really cares about the program because it doesn't come out of him. You don't see it on his face. You don't hear it in his interviews. I don't believe Chip Kelly has what it takes to turn around a program. I've met head coaches and you go, doesn't matter what the record is. I believe in them because I would follow them. I've met head coaches like that. There are certain head coaches that go, I would follow you. I don't know that Chip Kelly is that kind of guy. And, here's a funny thought. If Michigan doesn't want Jim Harbaugh, I am sure UCLA would be happy to have him in a heartbeat. I'm sure UCLA would go, we'll take 10 wins a year. Michigan's fans are spoiled. We might not even win 2. But seriously, I feel sad for UCLA fans. They're in a bad situation. UCLA has bad technique. Guys are in the wrong spots. They're not executing well. And talent-wise, they're not impressive. Chip Kelly's not done a good job recruiting. So even quarterback aside, UCLA is not impressive. I thought they could, you would think, okay, we lose our quarterback. I want it to still look competitive, and it's, I don't know. They lost to Oregon State. Oregon State. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I would like to see good things. I like DTR as a person. He seems, I don't know him. I never met him, nothing like that. But I root for people. It's hard to root. I don't root against people ever. I hope Chip Kelly succeeds. I hope DTR is awesome. I hope they have a great, ride off into the sunset and it all works out. But I don't think that's what's going to happen here. And I think, sadly, the Chip Kelly era is soon going to be over at UCLA. I don't have a lot of hope for the future. I don't, 1-5, losing to bad teams, it's not good. And I think the Chip Kelly era will soon come to an end with UCLA.